So much. We're back. We're back. This is episode 48. And I think it's safe to say that from this point moving forward, the live stream, so the podcast is going to be on Tuesday. Okay. I'm too busy on Saturday and on Friday, so I can't really do it. And it doesn't really make sense because most people go out on Saturday. Not a lot of people have this mindset, extreme mindset, we could call it. Although it's not extreme, it's just purposeful. Regardless, just so I don't confuse everyone, my name is Coach Prez, and I'm a football coach with deep interest in philosophy. As you can see, we have the background upgrade. I've been putting in the work, right? Little by little, we're getting there. The next thing to fix is the lighting. Okay, I need to fix all that stuff because at the moment it's Mickey Mouse, but it is what it is. We have to deal with it. The people that are here for the hardcore content, you know, content, more so dialogues, monologues, whatever you want to call them. Not here for the production quality yet. We'll get there sooner or later. We'll get there. But you have to have priorities. You have to have your priorities straight. And at this point in time, this podcast is probably my, I'm not going to say where the podcast is on my priority list because I'm going to sabotage myself that way. But anyway, I've said enough. It's time to actually get into it. So I must say, for those that are new or don't know what we're doing, first we talk about sport, if there's anything interesting happening, and then we move on to everything else. And we talk about philosophy, decision making, self improvement, self mastery. My favorite word, mastery, self mastery, and all of that fun stuff. But most of the times we start with sport, right? Especially if we have questions, okay? The thing is, when we have questions, we stick to the questions, right? Regardless of anything, because this makes for the most dynamic and fun podcast. Okay. One problem, my Red Bull is frozen. I put it in the freezer for too long, and now it will be a struggle. But look at how cold it is. But it's frozen. So this can teach you something about balance. Too cold, you can't drink it anymore. Too warm, doesn't taste good. There is a perfect spot, a perfect temperature, even for a Red Bull to exist. I'm getting very philosophical very early. So can we just take a moment? I'm probably gonna do that about 20 times today, just to appreciate the background now. Looks so much more professional, doesn't it? What I still need to do is maybe get this side as well, and this as well, and maybe get some light back there. But we'll one step at a time. You know what Lao Tzu said? Lao Tzu said, the longest journey starts with a single step. That's a beautiful saying. Almost drinkable Red Bull. All right. What are we going to talk about? Last week, I talked about a little bit of MMA, a little bit of boxing, a little bit of football. This week, we still have the Club World Cup, which is not the most exciting thing for me, to be honest. I'm not really following it. And that's why I won't be talking about it unless we have some urgent question. But yeah, I won't be talking about it. What happened? What was something significant that happened? Diogo Jota passed away. in a traffic accident, him and his brother. Unfortunate, you know, you never know when things are going to happen to you in life. You can have the highest high and then you're gone. That's a tough topic to start with, so I'm not going to start with this. You know what I want to talk about? Yeah. Before we get anything, is I believe I've been thinking about this all day. So listen to this. Listen my schedule for today. I woke up at 6:30. I was out by 6:45. I'm very quick getting out. Go to work. Finish at 3:30. Sprint pretty much. 1 hour journey to Chelsea for a session. I do my session with Chelsea 5 to 6:30. You know why? Because they said, we need a coach to cover this session. Can you do it? I was like, It's like, yeah, I'll do it. I step up. You have to step up when it's time to step up. You can't play games. You step up. Opportunities come. You have to take them. Did I want to have more time to the podcast? Yeah, look at what time it is. It's 9:20 on a Tuesday. And I've been out since 6:30. So I barely got here for 8. Yeah, came back home at 8. So from 6:30 a.m., I'm back home at 8 p.m. I quickly upgraded the background because I couldn't really wait for that. I had to do the upgrades. I couldn't do another podcast with the same boring background. Now it's a bit better. Still not where we want to be, but it's better. And here we are, 9:20. This is, and I'm drinking Red Bull. Is drinking Red Bull at this time of the day, is it good for you? Probably not. Is it my routine though to do my podcast and drink Red Bull? Yeah. Do I enjoy it? Yeah. Why am I doing this? I don't have. If I didn't do that podcast today, I would have had to skip. You know, guys, you know me, I don't like skipping things. I like sticking to a routine. I have to have a schedule to follow it. And for me to skip something means that my routine, by the way, 2-0 to Chelsea. Chelsea 2-0 up. Against Fluminense, though. So skipping a routine, skipping a step from my routine, to me is like weakness. There is a crack in my discipline. Am I gonna allow that? So there is always, I have a choice to make. Can I say maybe now it's not the best time? Maybe I'll just skip this one, skip 1 week, nothing's gonna happen. Yeah, I could, but at a certain point in life, you realize that it's about principles, about what you represent, whether it's in front of a big audience or no, or if it's just to yourself, it doesn't matter. But you start understanding things better, and you're like, yeah, that's what matters. What matters is what I know. Is it going to be good if someone else can actually see and appreciate my knowledge and abilities and skills? Yes. But at the end of the day, only I know the truth. And let's say people praise me everywhere. I'm well regarded and everyone likes me and loves me and blah, 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 whatever. But I know deep down, you know, I am I'm a liar. I'm not, I'm not true. I'm not real. I'm just, everything is just surface level. Everything is for show. There is something missing when you're like that. And I can't be like that, you know? So that's why I do what I do. I believe, listen to this, every person should push themselves. Or let's, you know what, let's stick to every man, because I can't comment about how women should live their lives because I'm not a woman. So that automatically means that I don't really know how women should live their lives, if we're being honest. I can tell you some general rules, but for the most part, I'm like, I don't really know. I don't have expertise in this area. So I was saying, I believe every man should have at least a period in his life where you work so hard. You work so hard every day, not for a day, for like weeks, no days off. You're pedal to the metal, as they say, for a prolonged period of time, to the point where you start questioning yourself. If you're not asking yourself the question, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this? Then you're not working hard enough. But I don't mean for you to ask the question, why am I doing this? When you're doing like a job that you don't really enjoy. That's different. This is questioning your, you know, occupation choices. I mean, literally more like, why am I doing this to myself? Why? Why am I doing this to myself? That sort of stuff. That sort of question. Every person should go there. You know why? Because if the reason is superficial, you'll know straight away. And if your reason for anything is superficial, I believe, why do it? And I believe, why do you have superficial reasons in the first place? Maybe that's a red flag. You're gonna know straight away whether you're moving in a good direction, and whether your head is screwed on properly, straight, or whether you're going in the direction of probably mediocrity and nothingness, chasing pleasure, chasing instant gratification, short term comfort, regardless of the price, chasing whatever comes easy. You'll know straight away when you push yourself to the point that I was telling you about. That not breaking point, but I'm working really hard. Why? What, to save up money to go on a holiday? Is that it? Why? Why am I what's the point of me going on this holiday if it's gonna cost me so much to get there? I'm gonna suffer so much. I'm gonna put myself through so much extra suffering and pain just for them to be able to go and relax for a bit. So let's say I'm gonna put on top of, let's say, my 7 out of 10, I'm gonna put another 5. So I'm gonna be at 12 out of 10 for a month. So for 30 days. So that's extra 150 points if we're doing some imaginary math. So I'm able in 2 months' time to be able to go on holiday for a week. That is going to put me down back to 0 out of 10. And I'm going to gain what? In terms of experience slash pleasure slash effort, whatever you want to name that scale and that equation that I just gave you. You understand what I'm talking about? This is my question. So I've stopped doing things for, I don't push myself this hard because I'm chasing something. particular, something, tangible. No, it's just who I am. And I'm fine with pushing myself so hard if it's because of who I am. Because this is good. This is real. That's not something that is gone here today, gone tomorrow. Maybe it lasts, maybe it doesn't. No. The work that you put into yourself lasts. It makes a difference. You can push yourself to a point where it makes a lasting impact. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I wanted to share this with you. Pushing so hard. Because everyone I talk to, they go, why? You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You need a break. You need a break. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. I wish for the day where someone, instead of giving me not pity, but, the advice of you need a break. You need to slow down a bit. I wish for the moment where I can meet someone that instead of saying, oh, have a break, instead of trying to bring me down, someone that is up here with me and is trying to push me forward. I'd love for this day to come, honestly. The struggle is real. When you don't have people like that in your life, like no one, this is not going to be very relatable for most people. Hopefully for someone is. When you're in a situation that you work harder than everyone that and you have bigger goals or whatever you want to call it than everyone it's not ideal. It's not ideal. One sec, guys. Let me see these. What is that? What is retouch? What is this? Highlight saved to your channels. What? Oh, damn. I don't know what I'm doing. I just clicked a couple of things. I'm seeing some new settings or options, so I had to click, What is this? Chat. Okay. All right. I still don't know what I'm doing. All right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What is this? Interesting. Am I seeing this now for the first time? I don't know. I'm not sure. Regardless. You have to work hard. Tuesday evening, listen to this. On a Tuesday night, it's the 8th of July. No one is chasing me. No one is forcing me to do this. It's not like I have a million viewers here waiting for me to. The podcast is up. Yes, let's go. No, it's just a random Tuesday night. No one would have said anything if I skipped, but I can't skip because I know I'll be disappointed with myself. I can't. You cannot let yourself down. So many people let themselves down. Why? That's a difficult question. No one can answer this. But you have to look for these tough, uncomfortable questions. And when I look in the mirror thinking about why am I doing this? It's because I have to. I can't live a life of nothing, of just average. And you know what it is? I talked last time, I talked about resulting, about worrying too much about outcomes when making decisions, and not about worrying about making the right decision, regardless of the outcome. Because sometimes, as I said last week, you can make the right decision, but then it doesn't show on the outcome is not what you wanted or expected, because life is not like maths. You don't 1 + 1 doesn't always equal 2. Too many variables in life. So you could do the right thing and then not get the right result. But you shouldn't be misled by that bad result. Okay? Not everything is about the results. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. What I said is, I can't accept mediocrity. But then we need to understand that my results might, at the moment, they're very mediocre. They might stay mediocre for a long time. They might stay mediocre forever. It's not very likely, but it's possible that I never get my lucky break, or whatever it is, whatever you call it, my big chance. You know, I'm never in the right place at the right time. This is a possibility. Would that be disappointing for me? I don't think so. I can accept mediocre results. You know, if things were out of my control and it's just the way things happen, I think I will be like, yeah, it's fine. But I won't be able to accept me accepting my own mediocrity in terms of effort, in terms of actions, in terms of everything that is in my control. I can't accept this. I'd rather give 100% every single day and end up with like a 50% result than give 50% every day and end up with 100% result. Does that make sense? Because think about it. You live your life. Some people have better outcomes than others. Some have worse, big variability there. Whether you make more money, less money, you go on 5 holidays or you go on to 2 holidays. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, thank you. Protein, by the way. Might be drinking Red Bull, which is not the best, but 35 grams of protein, recovery. Because after this, I somehow, and you know what? Also, I'm doing what I'm doing now on 6 hours of sleep. That's not the best. This is not very healthy. This is arguably not sustainable, but I find a way to sustain it because I don't know how, honestly. Maybe because I'm 27, not a youngster, to be honest, in any way, shape, or form, but an adult in his prime. What was I talking about? By the way, yeah, we have 0 viewers at the moment. 24 minutes in. I was expecting a big party, and we've got nothing. You see what I'm saying? Last week, I was expecting nothing, and it was actually good viewers. I think we had 6 at one point. That's a record, by the way. I noted it. This week, nothing. No questions, no live viewers. We have a very relaxed conversation. Guys, the people that I'm talking to, at the moment, for me, you're in the future. Okay? You're in the future. I'm just in the past talking to you. To the people in the future that I'm talking to. While you're listening to this, I'm probably working. Probably 95% chance that I'm working while you're listening to this. So this is good. This is good. Hopefully you're working as well, you future people. But what was I saying? I lost my thought, kind of. So I can just go side to side, left and right. It is what it is. 48 episodes in, I struggle to care too much. The first five, that's funny. I'll probably continue my thought later. You know why I don't really care to continue? Because I'm talking about me. I don't want to talk too much about myself. But then at the same time, what else is there to talk about? The things I say about me, with the goal of you seeing my introspective thoughts and kind of thinking, which is unfiltered, just real and honest. And as you can see, it's quite laid back, relaxed. I'm not rushing here trying to make exciting content. No, just talking normally. If you have the time to listen, you listen. If not, then you don't. Either way, it's okay. It's fine, not a problem. Um, so yeah, and maybe this, to a certain extent, resonates with you, or it's like, maybe I should be a bit like that, or maybe I am like this. It's what I'm showing you is my mindset over time. It's close to 1 year now. By the way, I think in 2 weeks is 1 year of me doing this podcast. And we're on episode 48. So I've skipped exactly 2 weeks. I think it was one in Christmas and one last summer. So that's not bad, is it? I'm happy. Did I think I was gonna get the same amount of views pretty much as I am when I'm starting? Not exactly. Am I disappointed? No. To be fair, no. I'm not. I just enjoy doing this. It's like my own little monologue or a diary almost. The diary of a CEO. Good. Hard work pays off though. I was saying, I'm just going to get back to my thought. Regardless of your outcomes, you have to understand happiness or satisfaction from life is only relative. And you know why it's relative? Because it depends on who you're around. You can go on 5 holidays a year. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to feel like you're doing well if you're around people that go on 12 holidays a year. You know? But if you go on 5 holidays a year and you live with the people that barely go to one, you're going to feel like a king. You're going to feel like you're the boss, you're the man. So it's only relative. It only depends on your surroundings. And because of that, I am more compelled to not worry about that stuff, kind of the outcomes, as I called it, the outcomes of my work. Because, like, You can have a person that goes on 10 holidays a year or 5. I don't know why I'm so stuck with using holidays as an example. You can be around a person that makes 100,000 a year. Yeah. And he can, let's say, for example, he's happy 8 out of 10. Yeah. He's a happy guy. And for the people that are watching this and have been watching this podcast for a long time, I don't really like using the word happy or talk about this. But let's just use it for the sake of the conversation. Let's just use it. He's a happy guy, 8 out of 10. And then he gets like he's got a good family, he's got good friends. He only has like a couple of people that he knows that do better than him. Most others are like below him in terms of financially and lifestyle and everything, so he's quite happy. But then if you compare him to a guy that makes 30,000 a year, but he lives in, I don't know, like some third world country, which is very underdeveloped and a lot of poverty, people are making 1,000 a year around him. He's going to be like a king. So his experience and quality of life relative is going to be like a 10 out of 10. He's going to be like, oh my God, you can't be any richer than me. I've got everything compared to other people. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So even though this guy, objectively, his outcomes are worse, he doesn't go on as many holidays. He can't afford the best shoes and the best car and everything. He can afford nice shoes. He can afford an okay car. And although that's the case, he's objectively poorer and his lifestyle is worse or lower level compared to the other guy that lives in, let's say, here in London. He sees himself as richer, wealthier. His experience is 10 out of 10. So I know I dragged it a little bit, but what's the point? The point is outcomes first are subjective because it's what you think, and two, it's relative because it depends on who you're looking at, what are you comparing yourself against. So I'm not too worried about it, because I can always spin my outcomes in a way that I'm good, and I can always spin them in a way that I'm a loser. I'm the bottom of the barrel. I don't know. I'm not the apex predator. I'm like a little lizard. I'm nothing. So it depends on how I spin it. I can compare myself to the people I know from my hometown, from Tetovan, but not even 10,000 people in the mountains of Bulgaria. It's like Dagestan, basically. Or I can compare myself to the top elite bankers in London. And I'm like, the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm a loser. So it all depends. I can have two completely different ideas of myself depending on who am I comparing myself to. So that being said, what is it all about day to day, your life, when the outcome is very subjective and relative, but your day to day, only you're gonna know where this ranks. Your day to day. Your day to day is not only going to be based on what you do. Your day to day is mostly based on your mindset that you carry with yourself during the day. Is it a positive one or is it a negative one? Are you a moany person or you like a very energetic, upbeat, optimistic person. That is gonna dictate how you're gonna experience your life. Is it gonna be a good experience or maybe not so good? That's one. And then two, like your satisfaction with yourself and probably with everything else, because how you feel about yourself is gonna um, influence to a very large extent how you feel about your life. Okay, and this is going to be based on what? This is going to be based on your effort. Are you honest with yourself? Are you disciplined? Are you this? Are you that? Are you a man of your word? Do you cheat? Do you lie? You know, are you a good person? Are you a strong person? When you say you're going to do something, do you do it? Do you procrastinate? Okay. Do you avoid doing things? Are you strong or no? Do things bother you easily or no? Or do they just bounce off you as if you have armor? This is what I mean. If all these things that I just said, if you've got these good, if you've got them under control, you know what you're doing, then your life's going to be good, regardless of your outcomes. This is what is difficult for people to understand, I think. They're too stuck on looking at the outcomes and looking at all my day to day, all my lifestyle, that word lifestyle. What about your internal? What about that? Are you paying attention? Because it's very important. Priorities. You have to have your priorities straight. Internal first. Make sure this is right. And then everything else is kind of gonna fall into place, if you ask me. Does that make sense? We're 38 minutes in. I might cut this one short. We're not really getting any chats, any viewers, live viewers, so I might just cut it short. But at least I've done it. At least I've done it. And I've explained what I wanted to explain. That was an important thing. Now I can start going into decision making and poker. Because I'll have to be honest. This is what interests me at the moment. Decision making is a very big topic in my head. I keep reading books about it. I started reading another book. It's called Perfectly Irrational. It's about the things that influence us, without us knowing. Have I talked about this about a million times? Yes, but yet again, I'm on to a new book that aims to expand my knowledge on the topic. Although I know a lot. I know all about like biases, cognitive biases, and anchoring, and this and that and the other. Doesn't matter. I still read. I have to keep pushing my knowledge. I have to expand my understanding of things. There is a constant process. I can't slack off, especially while you're young. I can't waste time. I tried to say this a couple of episodes ago. People think that only the things that you think count. But that's not the case. Everything counts. The things that you don't think that the things that you don't think count. That's a bit of a wordplay, to be fair, but it makes sense. The things that you don't think count, they count as well, right? When I have a day, yeah, and I think out of my day, only the 5 good things that I did, they count. Oh yeah, they count. That was good that I did. But you did another 6 things that were bad, they count as well. although you're ignoring them. So everything you do counts towards what you're becoming. What is your future becoming? Everything counts, not only whatever you want to, not just the positives. You have to understand this. People, I, it, it really seems this way. Young people, especially, they think that it's fine to do one small good thing to offset the negative effects of the 15 bad things that they're doing on a day-to-day basis. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't. It's a start. You start at the bottom, but a lot of people get confused. They think, oh, I'm saving money. I'm saving every month. I'm saving, so clearly I'm looking towards the future. Oh yeah, but is that it? Is this it? You're saving, yeah, a certain amount per month for nothing else. You're not working to build a new habit. You're not worried about where you're going mentally, intellectually, probably. That sounds a bit gay for me to say, but take it in a non-gay way, in a very masculine way. Like, I can't accept the fact that me as a person and as a character, I'm just without any control over anything. I'm just drifting towards a certain place. Let's say, and that place is me at 35. And me at 35 is what? Why am I at 35? That's it. I can't accept that I'm going to be something like random at 35. I don't know. I've got no idea what am I going to be like at 35. As a person, as a character, as behavior. I can't have this. If you ask me, I'll sit down and start making a plan. Okay, I need to work on this quality, and this quality. When I'm 35, ideally, I want to have pushed myself in this direction in terms of my character and my qualities as a person, my personality. I want to have pushed it here because I understand I have these strengths, but over here I have a couple of weaknesses that I want to kind of cut off and move there. So in order to do this, what I'm going to do from next year is add this to my routine or to my schedule. And that is naturally going to start pushing me towards where I want to go. So it's planned. It's like pre-planned. What character do I want to have when I'm 27? That was planned. That wasn't an accident. At first, I just started, okay, let me try and fix this. Let me try and fix this. Let me try and... But then it got to a point, my planning for the future started becoming more and more, I started becoming more and more deliberate with what I'm doing. Okay, I need to develop this quality. Let me do it. Let me do it, okay? How am I going to develop this? 3 options, this, and that. Okay. From next month, I'm adding this because I have to go in that direction. But just wanting to go there is not going to get you there. You have to actually do something to push you there. You have to have a repeated exposure, or you have to put yourself in an environment that is going to develop this. Yeah. If I want to talk to more people, if I want to be, let's say, a bit more extroverted, I'm not going to achieve this by sitting here and doing podcasts, for example. I'm going to achieve this by being outside and talking to people constantly. So for me to do that, let's say to force myself out, my thought process, I'm just giving you an example, guys, because I've done this with different things that I've wanted to develop. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? I know that I have this flaw. I have to be more extroverted. I'm not just going to repeat this to myself. I'm going to be okay. Let me be strategic about this. Let me be intentional. All right, extrovert. I have to talk to people. That's clearly that's what's going to help it. All right, let me. What can I do? What if I find a job that actually requires for me to talk to people? Then I'll be forced. I'll have to do it. So I'm like, okay, let's do this then. Yeah, let's do it. And I go and do it. And that is gonna start pushing me in this direction. I'm forcing myself there. I'm not just saying it. I'm not being nice to myself. I'm forcing myself. It's like I'm parenting myself. When I'm saying, no, I don't want to do this. And then my, what is it called? My alter ego, not the alter ego, but the higher version of myself that exists somewhere in my head goes, no, you will do it. There is no ifs, buts, or maybes. You are doing it. Shut the fuck up. Let's go. Grab him by the hand and take me there. So I'm doing this to myself so often. And yeah, that's how it works. And you can be very intentional and you can do that if you want to. The difficult thing is wanting to. And unfortunately, my Red Bull is good now, I think. Nothing better. Nothing better. Ah, that's beautiful. 10 o'clock. I think I'm gonna wrap this up because I have things to do. Busy man. You have to work so hard. Hard. What the fuck? Well, I can't speak English anymore. Fucking hell. I have to work so hard. Hard. That I question myself. The way I'm questioning myself right now. Why am I doing this to myself? I ask. And the answer that I receive is because that's who I am. That's the only thing I hear back when I ask myself this question. I hear back something along the lines of, because that's who the fuck I am. That's what I do. I push myself to places that not many people are willing to go. That's what I do. No one is gonna notice, or no one will know. It doesn't matter. I know. I'll know. And that's where I get all the confidence all my confidence comes from this. Because I know deep down, I know what I'm doing. I know how hard I'm pushing myself. And I know that 99.99% of people are not willing to do it. They're not. They don't even think this is possible. Now I'm gonna start getting to imaginary land, which is they're waiting for me to crack. They're waiting for me to fall down. Now I'm creating now enemies in my head. They're waiting for me to crack. So they can say, I told you you're doing too much. I told you. You should have gone on a holiday. You're doing tremendously a lot. Fuck off. I'm not. I can do more. Yeah. 50 minutes in. This is what hard work looks like. I completed another day, 6:30 to 10. I'm kind of done now. It's good, looking back. I'll be able to look back and say, episode 48. Look at episode. Whoops. The background is falling apart. This is a sign from the universe to finish this podcast because we are experiencing now technical difficulties. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, listening, and everything else, wherever it is. And I'll be back next week. All right. See you later.